Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is the letter J, Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson here again before you today. Just having a little conversation today, talking about sincerity and truth, and just wanted to take a few moments, just to push to the forefront of our minds as we go about our daily living in our lives. Meeting our obligations, deadlines, and responsibilities, taking care of our families, out there doing what we have to do in order to stay alive and thrive and not just merely struggle. Here, just looking out the studios, looking out the windows, seeing that it's nice and hot out there. I just came in. So right now, whenever you find yourself consuming this content, where I'm at right now, it is hot, steaming hot. And I work outside, so I definitely appreciate a moment to take a break and come and just have a chat with you by the AC. AC as I drink on some of my water, talking about living sincerely and in truth, and how it is important today to do whatever you can to be as honest and as truthful and not deceitful and lying. As much as you can, and as much as the Spirit of God resides in you to strengthen you, enable you to do. This is important today, and one of the things that's kind of gotten me going on this trail of thought, this trajectory today, is that for the last couple of days I've been listening to the audio book by Dr. Jordan Peterson, the clinical psychologist. He's a clinical psychologist, and let me see what else can I find out about my man here. Let me see. Like I said, the book is 12 Rules for Life: An Antidote to Chaos, and it's under the self-help book. And from time to time, I'll take the self-help category. My bad. And from time to time, I'll take a moment where I'll just grab a book just to get somebody else's view and help get some other ideas and thoughts injected into my mind, and just to kind of contemplate and bounce and think about things. One of the things about books in general is that they provide a way for you and I to level up in life and learn some lessons from others, that glean lessons from other people's lives in which we don't have the life expansion to live, and then also it gives us an advantage in that we don't have to experience a lot of the headaches and consequences that resulted in a lot of the lessons and nuggets of wisdom, pearls of wisdom that we may find in other people's writings and thoughts and media and content that they push out. So again, 12 Rules for Life: An Antidote to Chaos. It's under the self-help category, written by Canadian clinical psychologist and psychology professor Jordan Peterson. It's a pretty good book, but just, he talks about abstract ethical principles, about life influence, about biology, literature. He talks about the Bible a whole lot. He brings in a lot of scripture, which kind of surprised me, and then myths and clinical experience and scientific research, among other things. And it's written in a very good style. So I do recommend it to be one if you just want to pick up something and kind of get some nuggets of wisdom when it comes to life. It's definitely a great read. It's long, but it's a great read. It's a very good exercise as far as exercising your mental capacity and exposing yourself to some ideas and thought patterns that you may not have exposed yourself to or even thought about in the past. So just talking about the importance of living as truthful and as honest as possible. When as a younger man, I really didn't understand the importance of this, and that when you live truthful and you live a life of sincerity and honesty and transparency, not complete transparency, but to everybody, but a life in which you don't seek to be fraudulent or deceitful, or you don't seek to hide or exempt information or whatever with an agenda or a purpose or design to it. But just to simply kind of, as best as you can, given that you are a finite human being with finite perception, as best as you can uncover and discover about life and truth and facts and things that is actual, to live in accordance with those things and to just speak them and live them. So it's very important to do that. It makes life a couple of things. It makes life in and of itself so much more easier and enjoyable, in that you don't have to. One of the things is you don't have to remember all the trails of lies that you told. You don't have to remember the stories that you've created, and you don't have to worry about a lot of the consequences that from the fallout or the backlash of the lies that you create, which is helps you in body, mind, heart, and spirit. And then when you tell lies, when you tell the truth, you become one of solid reputation in the community. You become an asset to the community, and you just become. It helps strengthen your character, which has a lot to be said about that, versus weakening your character whenever you let yourself start lying. And when you let yourself start lying and being deceitful, you create worlds. You create realities. You create these illusions that you will find yourself entrapped and living in, that could ultimately lead to destruction if you let lying and living a life of lies and deceit actually play out in full fruition in your life. So it's important that we do what it is that we try to do what is admonished by the Word of God to do, and that we're admonished to live in sincerity and truth, and we're admonished to gird up our loins, even as when it comes to spiritual warfare, to gird up our loins with truth. Your loins is around your hip area, your hip. The procreative power, your loins. So you want to gird up that area, the midsection of your body, with truth. Hips are very important. Hips are the core. If you got a weak core, then it affects every other area of your body, and that you aren't able to be agile. You aren't able to move freely. You aren't able to be effective when it comes to being a soldier. I'm looking at Ephesians 6:14 as I'm saying this. Let me read it real quick. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. And this is Ephesians 6:14, talking about the weapons, the instruments, the equipment of our spiritual warfare. And given that we are to gird up our loins with truth, it's very important when it comes to living a resilient, peaceful, strong, and empowered, powerful, creative life. You gotta have your loins, that midsection, girded up with sincerity and truth. Because if it ain't right, you won't last long in life. You won't be able to thrive in life, as the Creator Almighty, as the Most High, has created you, each and every one of you out there, to thrive in life. And I know it's easier to either by commission or omission, or it's easier to tell what quote unquote what we call little white lies that we think are harmless. It's easier oftentimes to go through life and not really discipline ourselves to tell the truth, and that a lot of times truth, when you speak truth and you tell truth and you try to live truth, it can be painful. A lot of times it can definitely be painful to realize truth, accept truth, live truth, speak truth always. This could be a painful process. It's a virtue. It's a virtue for a reason, and that it goes against human nature and tendency a lot of times. And that it's easier a lot for many of us just to tell a lie, to do whatever it takes to get by, and without especially when you're younger, to get by with not getting no whooping. Because a lot of times truth results in disciplinary action when you're younger. So you get in that habit when you're younger, carrying it over into your adulthood a lot of the times, many times. So it was Ephesians 6:14. Let me go to Ephesians 4:25. Wherefore, putting away lying, that is falsehood, speak every man truth, verity, actuality with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. When you speak truth to one another, to people, it's a way of strengthening the ties that bind. And one way how that happens is if I can be truthful and somebody when somebody hears my name or they know me or they see me coming, they can rely on me and I can be dependable, and my reputation can be, my word is bond, and that whatever I say is dependable and can be rested upon. It can be a form of used as a form of exchange when it comes to reputation and credit, when it comes to human relations, and when it comes to family and community. Given that when you accept Christ, you come into the kingdom of heaven, you become a part of a kingdom, a community of people. So, in this particular verse, it's saying, stand there, wherefore putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor. So these are close people. Neighbor is that fellow or somebody close by, a countryman, for we are members one of another. So meaning that we are a part of a body. We are a unit. We are in unity with one another. We are in agreement and alignment with one another. And when I lie, that breaks down those bonds, weakening the ties that bind, not only of the community, but it weakens your moral character in its sense, and it opens you up to even further corruption and deterioration. So just wanted to come on today and talk about the importance of doing whatever you can to allow the Spirit of God to move in you and about you and saturate your heart, to do do whatever it takes to cultivate the habit of speaking truth, living truth, and thinking about truth, and not allowing yourself to go down that corrupting path of being deceitful and telling lies, and being one who is fraudulent, not dependable, whose word is shifting as sand. You want your words to be bond. You want your words to be solid. You want your words to be dependable, and it can be used as stepping stones on which relationships can be built, and that character can be forged. So this is your man, J. Kevin, the Inspiration Station Company.com, where you just go visit that site and you can find resources. You can find my online shop. You can find inspirational blogs, writings, videos. You'll find a little bit of everything there. And also you can find some of the stuff that I do on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all these other avenues. Just wanting to provide channels and avenues of positivity and put out some good vibes. Do my best as an individual, align and collaborating also with other individuals to be the antidote, to be a doorway, an avenue for love to come through, and just present to you a nudge saying, hey, don't forget about this. This is important as you go about living your day-to-day life and enjoying the life that the Creator has given you and created and designed for you to live. So live good, smile good, laugh hard, play good, as you do all the other stuff in life. And today, just wanted to come on and talk about the importance of being truthful and living as sincerely and truthful as possible. It can go a long way in life. It can open up doors and give you favor when money and when status and when other things can't. So Thanks for joining me, and I am signing off. Looking forward to your comments and your feedback. Hit like, hit share, follow, and hopefully this has been a blessing to you. Blessings.